So this is the third talk in this series, the Brahmaviharas, and I want you to utilize that beautiful expression, Brahmaviharas, the dwellings of the gods. And realistically, that is what spiritual practice is about, is to go beyond the merely human and the merely mundane existences that we have, to use our imagination and our emotions to the fullest before we die. And so to find our way into the dwellings, the mansions of the gods, these are the four Brahmaviharas. And this is the third one, mudita. And it's rather sparsely taught. And I don't know why, it's one of the most accessible ones. And this is the idea of enjoying the happiness of others, to celebrate and participate and sympathize with the happiness of others until you get to a state where the heart is completely open and undiscriminating and enjoying the happiness of any other being that's happy, whether it's a puppy or a human, any conscious being. We're going to borrow this happiness, and we want you to help yourself. So this is, in the modern terms, this is open source emotions. We're going to borrow from our computer world where everybody is so interested in accessing things for free. And this is an opportunity to access things for free. There's a lot of days in your life where it's not going all that well for you. And I mean, there can't be exciting, wonderful, successful things happening every day of your life, but there is for somebody. And all you got to do is, when your life is dull or even there's failures in your life, look at others who are succeeding that day, succeeding at that time, and whose emotions are in the realm of happiness, and so celebrate that, so borrow it. This is one of the great antidotes to boredom as well. So this is, whenever you feel bored, that's something to be, not to simply accept as a reality of life. Boredom is actually a hindrance, a psychic irritant, and it is to be gotten rid of as soon as possible. One should not investigate it, one should not look at it, one should not attempt to be detached from it, because you aren't detached from it. If you're bored, you're not detached. If you're detached, you're not bored. So boredom is is a form of aversion. It's a form of, I don't like this moment in my life. I don't like this hour or this day or something. I would rather be somewhere else. So focus on somebody else's immersion in life, and that's what happiness is. Happiness is a moment where attention has been caught, interest has risen, absorption has occurred. You are in the present, you are celebrating it. These are actually jhana factors, and of course, for ordinary people, it may be as close as they'll ever come to it, but they're in some small way rising. Attention, positive emotion of joy, ease of body, and wholeheartedness. The person who is happy is wholeheartedly present, is engaged in the moment. And so we look at that, and we try to be influenced by it. We deliberately try to be influenced by it, to empathize, to move into the other person's happiness and participate in it. Now, most people have this idea, I say at the ordinary or normal level, they have the idea that they can do this with their close relatives or their friends. So when their friends or relatives are having a good moment, they celebrate that. The problem is they limit it. It's not when the neighbors have that. Now, this can be used in all kinds of interesting ways, because there's a lot of competition out there. And normally speaking, we would rather be the winner than the guy that comes third or second or 10th. But, and this is a trick, this is the Buddha's trick, it's brilliant. You can win every time, because if you celebrate the experience of the winner, you get the rewards of that. Now you can celebrate anybody's happiness, and it doesn't have to be an ethical or moral happiness. In the same way that when we have compassion, loving kindness for those who are suffering, we don't ask whether the person who's suffering is a moral agent or deserves it. We just say, all beings can easily get lost in the labyrinth of samsara. May they find their way out. I could get lost. It could have been me. It's so easy to get confused. May they be well. May they find happiness. We don't judge them. So the same with the people who are happy. They're not all happy for wise reasons. Sometimes they're just, it's a drunk in a midnight choir. And but they are happy. Now, we have to think, why are they drunk to begin with? What's the burden? What's their sorrow? At least this being has a moment of happiness. And if they find their way ethically and towards nobility, they will have more of this. And if they don't, well, then they deserve our compassion. But we can let go of judgment and just celebrate the moments, hours, or days, or even lifetimes of happiness that other beings have. We can always turn to the enlightened, because they are intrinsically happy almost every waking moment. And so there's always a source that we can find. And if we sweep our imagination across the world, or we have the good fortune to actually be with beings who are highly developed and have a constant quality of happiness, we can participate, we can ride along on that, and we should. So this is, it's all available. There's no judgment involved. It's sympathetic joy or appreciative joy, and we should cultivate that. And any time we're having a dullness or a problem in our life, learn to turn towards that and celebrate the joys, the successes of others. It's the opposite of envy as well. It will make you a larger person, a grand person, a person who surprises other people. When people walk into your life, or you even a momentary meeting with somebody who has good news, you participate in that good news with wholehearted sincerity and with holding nothing back. People are surprised by this. They're surprised that you appreciate their own happiness as much as your own. And it can be a perfect stranger, and it should be a perfect stranger, because why restrict yourself? Why limit yourself? So these are unlimited, unconditional goodwill, loving kindness. And it's, in this case, just around specific emotions. So it's loving kindness applied to those who are happy, who are feeling successful, celebrating some quality of well-being. And it's a delightful Brahmavihara, a dwelling, a mansion of the gods. It's huge, it's spacious. The rooms go on forever. So enjoy. There's the key. It's free. Help yourself.